A great 1-2 to start the year. Hi everyone, Scott Hansen, and this is your Week 2 edition of the EA Sports Weekly Recap. Plenty of action to get to. We'll begin at MetLife Stadium. The Giants at home to take on the Cowboys. And he's been around for a while, but he's still got it. Alvin Kamara. He's going to put his stamp on the game from the very outset, and there he goes. From there, it's down to the Big Easy in New Orleans. We'll check in on the Saints as they play host to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is Chris Godwin. He's going to look in the catch and then look upfield and watch this. Make it a 70-yard touchdown grab. The Bucs are off to a good start, 2-0 on the young season. One more for you. Let's go to SoFi Stadium. It's the Rams taking on the Detroit Lions. And it's the former Ram, led him to Super Bowl 53 back in the day, Jared Goff. A touchdown pass from 15 yards away. The Lions get a second straight win to start the year as they get the tough road victory. And that's a
Sports as we bring you a look inside Highmark Stadium here at Orchard Park, New York. Today it's week 3 and we've got a good one in store as it'll be the DallaS Cowboys taking on the Buffalo Bills. looking good right out the gate, off to a 2-0 start. Across from him, his counterpart, Bills head coach Sean McDermott. His guys ready to show out in front of the home fans as they try to send them home happy at the end of this one. And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0.
Here we go, set!
They'll start on the ground here on first down. He is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You look at this Buffalo defense. They were quite formidable in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 18. They'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
On play action, Allen. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
There are not many times where you might say it's a detriment to have a quarterback with a cannon for an arm, but this might be one of those few times. He just laid that one out there a bit too far, and his receiver couldn't run under it.
Allen now looks to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Kamara now to return. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here's Sanders. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 28-yard line.
19 Charger, 19 Charger. Let's go.
On play action, here's Shadur. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. Got a man. It's Mayer. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Cut 18 Rattler, 18 Rattler.
Sanders. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Gregory Rousseau. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Pat the 60, pat the 60. 60 Bobcat, 60 Bobcat.
They go play action now. Sanders. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on 1st down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Rig alert, rig alert.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They're looking deep here for Flowers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're trying to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the 1st on the scramble.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Off the play fake. Allen. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Allen off the play fake. This to the tight end, Kincaid. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Allen. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Looking to put a drive together. To throw is Sanders. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he's got this down to the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
1st down, Cowboys.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now Sanders. And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Here we go, set. 70.
To throw now, here's Sanders. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Mayer, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, yeah, I give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And we are tied at 7.
Brendan Aubrey to kick off for the Cowboys.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Oh, able to avoid it. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Coleman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Intended for Luke McCaffrey.
2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Cook up the gut. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Just shy of midfield.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. Here's Braden Mann now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Sanders to throw. Throw caught by Mayer. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Here comes 3rd and about a foot.
Hey, check that. Street. 60
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry.
First down, Dallas.
Play action. It's Sanders. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing, Sanders. They'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Sanders. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will begin in field goal range already as they search for a potential score. Shakir hauls it in. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
A gain of 10 yards. That's good for a Bill.
To throw, it's Allen. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows a defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. It's only week 3 on the schedule, but already some big-name teams with big early tests. Will they pass or fail? Let's get into it. Our trip around the NFL starts now. At Lambeau Field in Green Bay, the Packers at home to take on the Bengals. And this is Chase Brown. He's going to find a crease and take it 13 yards to the end zone. The Bengals are back in the win column. They move to 2-1 with a Week 3 victory. From there, let's go up to the Motor City. Let's look in on the Lions as they host the Baltimore Ravens. And it's Jared Goff. A 17-yard touchdown pass. This one all tied, 10-10 at halftime. One more to show you real quick. It's over in Tampa, the Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. And this is the Panthers wideout. He's going to run a deep route, look it in, and he's gone. 75 yards this one goes. The catch and run for the score. The Panthers, looking for a win after 2 losses to start out the season. They lead this one at the half. With that, a look at the rest of the scores here in a busy week number 3. Meanwhile, in our game, each team's been able to manage just 1 touchdown, 7-7 tied at the half, as we send you back out to the stadium with Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Liking 18.
Off play action. Sanders. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Go, Reed, go!
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Back to throw. Sanders. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
First down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped, surprising.
Was this game announced as a night?
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMarvion Overshown. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And out now come the Cowboys. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start first and 10.
Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. And he fires one, but incomplete. And the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. Buffalo set to get the football back here. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2nd down and 6 now.
2nd and 6. At the 27-yard line.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
That's good for a Bills first down. First and 10.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Brown 80.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen has his man. It's Shakir. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Khalil Shakir, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was all polished off with a Khalil Shakir touchdown catch. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that were happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Here we go, here we go. Cougar 19. Broncos.
Looking to throw. Sanders. Throw left side complete. That's Hunter. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Got it. Ready? Come on. Shit.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Here we go. Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Here's Sanders. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
1st down.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that...
Under pressure, they got him again. And Oliver, that time to want to get in there and bring him down. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
So here are the Bills to take over. They were victorious a week ago over Philadelphia. They lead here as well as they start out 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. And Allen going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they'll take over here following the interception with good field position and a chance to take the lead with a touchdown. From the gun, it's Sanders. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Here we go. Set, hut, go. Ready.
Off the RPO, he completes it. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Sanders. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6. So that, Charles, a big decision there on 4th and goal, and it works out.
And that is an example of a coach who's confident in his team. He didn't look at it as a gamble at all. He looked at it as belief. Great starting field position. Let's go ahead and deliver. And they do.
Aubrey now for the PAT. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead.
The score, Cowboys 17.
5 plays there on that drive.
14.
And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run.
For the Cowboys.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. And here come the Bills. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. From the gun, it's Allen.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Throwing now is Allen. Steps away to his left. Allen hit. He lost the football. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
On the return, it's Kamara. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 26-yard line.
Back to throw. Sanders. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
To CD Lamb. It's a gain of 11. And it's 3rd down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And the Cowboy first down.
Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical 3rd down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. Hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, set. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Viking,
On play action, here's Shadur. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Oh, and that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be called just a 22-yard punt, certainly not what he wanted. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake. Allen. A beautiful fake. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play here for Buffalo. And even 40 yards.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Finding McCaffrey on the slant. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
Bills first down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Now Allen. Setting up the screen for Cook. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Now a 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6 at the 16-yard line.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Bills are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
That's another Bills first down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Cook will take this over the line. Touchdown, Buffalo. He's giving him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. That incomplete to Trey Tucker. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw now, here's Sanders. Short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down.
Come on.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Off the play fake. Here's Sanders. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. This Buffalo crowd letting them have it. 3rd down now. Now Sanders. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one. Not got another turnover on his ledger.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4th down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. They'll come up now. 2nd and 9. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Work to do here with a crowd at fever pitch. 3rd and 9. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Intended for number 22.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Allen to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Cowboys' 43-yard line.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he will have a Bills first down, and that should be that.
And the Bills first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
They'll try the middle with Cook.